the tape for this, our main event of the evening. We introduce the champion, Chris, the West Side Strangler Brennan. Let's get it on!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. We are going over Bellator 299 in Dublin, Ireland, coming up this weekend.
It's going to be an awesome card.
Yeah, super excited.
Levon Chokoli and Sabah Hamasi. Chokoli's 12-2. Hamasi's the more seasoned fighter, coming in at 17-11.
Yeah, Sabah Hamasi's tough, man. He trains out of ATT, has a lot of experience. His last fight, we knew it was going to be a banger. He went out and he had a fight with Brennan Ward.
Yep.
And I think he was winning the fight, and then he threw something and was spinning, kind of like a, not to bash or whatever on Josh Thompson, but Josh Thompson once went to throw a spinning back fist and Yves Edwards kicked him in the head. Same thing.
Yeah.
He went to spin and got kicked in the head and then got TKO'd on the ground. It was he was real bloody. It was a Brennan Ward fight.
Yes.
But Sabah Hamasi fights kind of the same way.
Sabah Hamasi, before that, he'd had 2 wins and then 2 losses and then 4 wins. So he's kind of a streaky fighter.
Yeah.
And he's coming off of a loss. What type of fight does this look like to you?
I mean, he's tough. He's a tough guy. He's a hothead. He got into a fight at the weigh-ins on one of our Mohegan Sun cards with somebody, I forget who it was, but he's a tough guy. He comes out, I believe he fights out of ATT because he's a guy that was with Poirier, Mike Brown, and Thiago Alves when I was there, and I got that picture with them a long time ago.
And yeah,
but that's who they were there for. So I'm actually gonna Levon Chokoli's 12-2 and out of Georgia, the country, and I am going to go with him.
So what advantage is he bringing?
I just think he's got better wrestling for sure.
Okay.
He's Russian, even though he's from Georgia. We've talked about this guy before.
Yeah.
He's really tough, and he has. I feel like he's got a better fight IQ than Sabah Hamasi does. Sabah Hamasi's tough, right? He's a really, very gritty, tough fighter. Wants to get in your face and bang, but I just think that Levon will be able to kind of dictate, a little more of the fight and keep him calm down his opponent a little bit.
Is this a step up for Chokoli?
Yeah. Experience-wise, for sure it is as well. Kind of can't even remember who his last fight.
Michael Lombardo and Roman Feraldo were his last 2 wins.
So Roman Feraldo is very tough. Lombardo also, they're both those guys are very tough. And then he has a submission loss to Goichi Yamauchi, who's a stud.
Yeah.
Who did he Neiman Gracie, I think. Goichi had a decision, or no, not a decision, a knockout loss or something. I forget. One of those two.
I'm going back a ways. I don't see Gracie on Goichi's resume. Michael Page. Oh no, I'm sorry, Neiman Gracie. You're right.
He did, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that long ago.
No, it wasn't. It was actually just last August of 2022.
Okay. And who won?
Gracie did. Put him down
by
to
knockout.
Uppercut punches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Losing the fight up until that point, and then just threw a freaking Hail Mary uppercut, and that was a wrap. But again, I think this guy is he's fought very good guys. He's tough. He's a finisher, and I just feel like he's going to get the win.
Do you see this going deep?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Deep like second round.
Okay, so not very deep then.
No.
Okay. Shane Kavanaugh and Sarah Collins.
Sinead fights out of Dublin,
Yeah.
out of Ireland. She was on, I think, our original Bellator card. She's tough. She was fighting Julia Budd on a title fight when we first signed with Bellator, and I forget how that fight. She lost, but I forget how it went. Probably.
I'm looking up to see Kavanaugh here.
I don't see her actually fighting Julia, but maybe it was Olga Rubin, because Olga Rubin fought Julia. Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
She's tough. She's out of SBG, and the other girl's 4-0 out of Australia. Should be a competitive fight.
I'm looking at Kavanaugh's resume. She's got a loss to Cyborg.
That's okay.
Then that was quick. And then she's got wins over Leah McCourt and Janae Harding.
Right.
Which are those are solid wins.
Leah McCourt definitely is.
Janae was 8-5. It was a unanimous decision that happened February of this year.
Sarah Collins only has one fight in Bellator, but she beat Pam Sorensen by submission.
Okay.
Pam's also very tough. That was March of this year, March 31st of this year.
Fighting styles. What do you know about Sarah Collins' fighting style?
Well, she won by submission. That's the only time I've seen her fight was when she fought in Bellator.
Okay.
And she only has one fight. Sinead fights a little bit. She's a banger. She got decision, KO, decision, TKO, decision, TKO, TKO. You know, she's 0 subs.
Okay.
So we'll see how that match might match up perfectly for the striker versus grappler type of fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of her wins are coming by decision. Actually, she's got 5 wins by decision versus 4 by strikes.
Right.
And like you said, but she also has not been submitted.
Right.
Is that just a fight style that she's keeping it on the feet and not putting herself in that position?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
So that's not necessarily saying anything about her defense on the ground.
Right. No,
It's
I
just
mean,
more about the way
she
the
might
fight
not even
goes.
be on the ground. It's hard
Okay.
to tell, And she's winning by TKO. That could be strikes, on top, or it could
Yeah.
be strikes on the feet, winning by TKO.
Sure. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Sarah Collins.
No. Okay.
Actually, sorry, I forgot that they're fighting in Dublin.
Oh yeah, that matters.
It does. It could be anyone else fighting at home, but fighting in Dublin, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Sinead.
Is that as bad as
Kavanagh.
fighting in Japan?
Oh yeah, I just mean the fans are so crazy
Okay.
for their
So
fighters.
not the judges.
No.
It's-
I
it's-
just think the atmosphere alone is going to be a lot for Sarah Collins to
Okay.
deal with.
I think I've asked you this before, but Sarah Collins is fighting out of Australia. It looks like
Right.
from Australia to Dublin. It's a long way.
Sure.
You're probably a legit 12 hours.
Yeah.
You're completely flipped.
Yeah.
Does that make a difference for the fighter?
Oh, 100%. The time zone change is rough on your
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever got more than 2 or 3 hours of sleep at a time when I was in Japan.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. So yeah, it definitely plays
Okay.
a part.
So because of the home cage advantage, you're
Yep.
going with Sinead here.
Yep.
Okay. Mads Burnell, Daniel Weichel. This is one that we've talked about. Weichel's a warrior, 42-14, fighting out of Germany. This guy's just a stud. Looks like he's coming in out of the blue corner against Mads Burnell, who's 17-5, and he's fighting out of Extreme Couture.
Right.
In Denmark.
So a cool bit of news. Lucas just fought, and he is literally the only, besides number 1 and number 2, which is Pitbull and Borix.
Yeah.
The rest of the roster is fighting in the next 2 events.
Okay.
Number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10 are all fighting. We're tied for 7th with Jeremy Kennedy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not Jeremy Kennedy. Justin Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And Justin Gonzalez is fighting someone, I forget who. The lineups are crazy right now, but he's fighting someone behind us, and so Kai Kamaka is outside the rankings now. He was in and then got bumped out.
Okay.
And so he's fighting number 10, who is
Kai didn't lose though, right?
No.
It was just a shuffle. And
there was a bunch of chaos that went on in our division just recently with fights that a bunch of guys in our division fought, and then someone got bumped into our rankings and it bumped him out, and then instead of making a 7 and 8, they tied us and Justin Gonzalez for 7.
Yeah.
There's no 8, and then 9, 10, and Kai got bumped out.
Which is hard because you know Kai, his
He's
family.
fighting Henry Corrales.
Okay.
Henry Corrales, I was saying, that Henry and Kai should be ranked.
Yeah.
You know, if Lucas is ranked.
Yeah.
And the next event, they were both ranked 9 and 10. And then something happened. I forget who came into the rankings, and it bumped Kai out. He was there for like a week, and I was like, oh God, you know. But Borix is a 4 or 5, and he's fighting Weichel, who is number 9, and then
Borix is fighting who?
Daniel Weichel.
Because we got.
I'm
Burnell.
sorry, not Borix. Mads.
Okay, Mads Burnell.
Mads
okay.
is 4 or 5, and he's fighting Weichel, who is number 9. And then where are the rankings? I had them pulled. Oh, right here. Hold on. So here we go. Henry Corrales is fighting Kai Kamaka. Weichel is fighting number 4 Mads Burnell. Pedro Carvalho, number 5, is fighting number 3 Aaron Pico. Teamer, number 6, is fighting Justin Gonzalez, number 7. Like that's going to cause chaos in our
Yes, it is.
in our division. And really, the only one that should move us anywhere is if Justin Gonzalez beats Teamer, he'll become 6, and Teamer might bump us to 8 from being tied at 7. No one's going to jump in front of us because Weichel's the only one that could get in front of us by fighting Mads, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think Mads beats him all day.
Okay.
Henry Corrales and Kai could flip-flop, you know, at 10 and outside of the rankings.
Yeah.
But no one's really going to move us anywhere but make us a solid 8 instead of 7.
Okay.
So that's cool. Worst news is all of these fights are happening
Yeah.
because something is happening. And they're trying to squeeze everybody's get everyone's fights in.
Yeah.
And that's apparently going to be end of September, early October, and they're talking about November card being the last one.
The 300.
And it was supposed to be December, and no 301.
301.
And it was supposed to
okay.
be December, where we would have been at 302. December 16th was the plan, and I don't know that that's going to happen. Our camp was supposed to fight this Sunday or start this Sunday, so we'll see.
Are you waiting to hear something official?
No, unfortunately, we have to start.
Yeah.
Because if we don't start and they decide to do it, we're
you
late,
can't be
and that's a
behind.
problem. So
Yeah.
I'd rather be in camp for a couple weeks for no reason than to not
show
be
up
in
late.
camp and show up late. Yeah.
You got the whiteboard that's got to get filled out exactly how it
Correct.
goes, and
Correct.
if it doesn't go that way, then
Right. So,
so-
I'm going Mads Burnell on this.
what is it about? I mean, Weichel's record, this guy's a warrior. What is it about Mads that you like over Weichel?
First of all, I like Mads Burnell.
okay,
Second, I think that he's got better ground skills for sure.
okay,
Weichel surprised me when he fought Teamer. He was getting beat close, but getting beat on the feet. Got a takedown, the first takedown of the fight in the third round. In the third round, and he is all over him for 30 seconds, and they get back to the feet, and he never takes him down again for the rest of the round. Lose the decision.
Mm-hmm.
So, he has a lot of experience. Obviously, what's he got? 14 losses, but 42 wins.
42
like
wins.
Tons of experience. Mads has been calling him out. Like Mads is in 4, he's number 9, and it wasn't Weichel calling out Mads. It was Mads calling out Weichel. They got beef.
Yeah,
and he wants to show him who's the king of. They're both from over. Mads is in Denmark or Sweden, I think.
yeah, Denmark. I think.
Denmark, and the other guys, I forget where Weichel's from, Germany or something, but they've got.
Yep, that's right, Germany. So
yeah,
they got the
got
EU
beef.
that they're kind
Yeah.
of is that.
He wants to be the king, and I'm going with Mads.
Weichel's coming in with 22 submissions.
Yeah,
That's significant.
he does have a lot of. I said better ground for Mads. You know, I'm a fan of Mads Burnell, and I obviously respect Weichel, what he's done, you know, the amount of experience he has, the fights he's got, the wins he's got, but there's no way I'm going to bet against him.
From a casual perspective, is this a boring fight because
No,
it's on the ground?
no.
Is there going to be
It might not be on the ground. They both
Okay.
have great striking, too.
Okay. Because I'm looking, Mads has only got one. He's 1-1 on fights that end by strikes. So he's only had 2 fights end via strikes. And then you look at Weichel, and I'm sure it's going to be quite different.
He had a very
6
good
and
and
5.
close fight with Borix. Was ripping his body, had great body shots, lost a decision, but I can't remember if I thought he won the fight or not.
That was Mads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mads and Adam Borks.
Yep.
And I can't remember if I thought he won the fight or not, but he's awesome. He's a great fighter. And
Do you see that being a key to the fight, investing in the body? I mean, I know that's kind of a little.
yeah, but I also think he has to be careful on the feet as well. Weichel definitely can strike. He's got good striking, but I don't know what his striking finishing rate is. You gonna
Mads?
tell me? No, Weichel.
Oh, Weichel. I think he's he's got 6 wins versus 5 losses. So he's only got six out of his 42 wins
Okay, and
are
then
via
30
strikes.
something or 20 something subs.
22 subs and 14 wins by decision.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know you like Mads. I'm not.
I do. Hard to bet against Daniel Weichel, right? Looking at it, but I'm going to.
Okay. Well, I like it. You've never been one to shy away from going out on.
Mads
him a little
just beat Justin Gonzalez handily. His wrestling looked good. His ground looked good.
bit. Yeah, that win against Justin Gonzalez was a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Just in April of this year, and he looked good doing it. Is that
Very good. Dominated him.
all right? Got you down for Mads Burnell on this.
Cool.
Co-main, Aaron Pico, Pedro Carvalho.
I think this is a one-sided, brutal beatdown.
By
Pico.
Pico. He's just
Yeah, I
gonna
don't think
run over
Pedro
him.
Carvalho stands a chance in this fight. Pedro's a guy, one of the guys who in the rankings who we would like to fight.
Okay,
You know?
these. To your point, this is I was going to say it's the third 45 fights that we've called, but Sir Collins and Shane Kavanaugh doesn't count. So.
Right, and there's 3 or 4 on the prelims as well at 45.
Yeah.
Unranked guys. Kieran
Yeah.
Clark, another guy we want to fight. Azul, something.
Draw Kelly, Geely Ziegers. These are unranked guys that are
First
45.
fight, I think.
Assail and Hassan.
Azuj.
Yep.
We want to. I'd love to fight that guy. He's out of SBG, but he's not from Ireland. He's from somewhere else, but France or something. I don't know.
And then you've got Dagestani. They're opening up the early prelim. Hassan, like as you mentioned, and
He's a 35er, no?
now they're listed at 45. Hassan is.
Magomed Sharipov.
Yeah.
So he is Zabit's brother, and they hit me up to ask Ty to fight him on short notice, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, come on. Ty's on a 6-fight win streak. I was like, we're not going to throw him in on short notice against that guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought he was a 35er. I guess that's weird.
I don't know if he went up. It also could be this.
Well, it might be fighting at a catch weight because the fight was on short notice.
Okay.
Because I'm going to look on the website. It has him. Oh. He's a 55er, and his opponent is a 45er. So I wonder if he's coming down to 45, and that's but still Ty's a 35er.
Okay.
Anyway,
Pico's gonna.
I think.
Does Carvalho last the fight? Does he make it out of the fight?
The only reason he would is because Pico fights a lot smarter now. He wrestles a lot more. His ground and pound is brutal. His striking is brutal. If he decides to wrestle him more, I guess it could last. But I'm gonna go with no. He knocks him out.
7 out of Pico's 11 wins come by way of strikes.
Yeah.
He's got 2 subs and he's 2-0 in decision. So if it goes that far, he seems to do well there.
Yeah.
And of course, he's only got the 3 losses. And just looking at
His
him,
3 losses were early. He's on a hell of a streak now.
Jeremy Kennedy. So I
I don't count that.
You got you what?
I don't count the Jeremy Kennedy. This is when he dislocated his shoulder right on the first 10 seconds of the fight.
Yep. That's right.
I'm not saying Jeremy can't beat him or Aaron can't beat him, but I don't
The end of
count
round
that
one.
fight as
that was the one where they were trying to.
It happened right at the beginning of round 1.
Yes.
He literally fought for the entire 5 minutes with
right.
his shoulder out. trying to fight, and he was trying to put it on himself. Then they went back to the corner, and he
And they were
yanked
just
on it and
yanking, and you're like,
brutal.
oh,
And
I remember that.
So yeah, that
Yeah,
I don't count that fight not as a win or a loss. I just as a wash to
That's-
me.
yeah.
He's still on a win streak in my book.
So Adam Borix and Henry Corrales are
Yeah.
his 2 losses early in his
Yeah.
career, and then Zach Freeman when he was 0-0.
Yeah, what was Zach Freeman's record?
Let me look. I think it was early.
10?
At the time.
Yeah. It'll say right next to his name when he fought Pico.
Oh, okay. I'm looking right here. Man, I don't. Oh, he was 8-2
8-2.
at the time. So that's
Yeah,
a
10
big
fights.
fight for an 0-0 to come
Yeah.
in and pick an 8-2 guy. That's
They came in a little overzealous, and
that's a big fight.
yeah.
Main event: Johnny Eblen and Fabian Edwards. Eblen's coming in at a straight 13-0. Guys looked dominant.
Monster.
Dominant
Monster.
all the way through. Fabian Edwards is 12-2. You look at Johnny's resume. Tokov, Gegard Mousasi, we talked about that. John Salter. I mean, this guy is just looking dominant. Spent some time. We were talking about it before the podcast, coaching on Tough.
Yeah.
Smart, high fight IQ, all the athletic ability in the world. He's a monster.
Fabian Edwards is Leon Edwards' brother,
Okay.
who's the UFC 170 champ.
Yep.
They're both coming off Gegard Mousasi wins. This guy beat Charlie Ward, Lyoto Machida, lost to Austin Vanderfort, who is the training partner of Eblen, lost to Costello Vanstinas, beat Michael Shipman. He had a few good wins and a couple of losses to guys that I think Johnny Eblen runs through.
You said that Eblen trains with Austin. Is that right?
He's one of the 3 guys that were undefeated out of ATT that
Yes.
were all
Yep, I
in the
remember that.
same.
So MMA math says that if Eblen is better than Austin and he lost to Austin, then that means that he's also going to lose to Eblen.
Right.
Is
MMA math doesn't always add up.
it sure doesn't.
Have we even done one of these since Lucas's fight?
We have not.
We didn't.
No.
Didn't even get to talk about that.
No.
How
we
disappointing.
both been on travel.
Yeah. So, it's been a while. Austin Vanderford got beat by Gegard Mousasi in about 30 seconds. I think Johnny Eblen beats Fabian Edwards pretty handily. If he wrestles him, it's a no brainer. If he strikes with him, he struck with Gegard Mousasi.
Yeah.
A lot. He hit him hard a lot, hurt him a lot. I think he's the real deal at that weight class, and a lot of people, even guys like Strickland and other guys that fight in UFC, talk about him being the guy.
Well, and you look at what Edwards has done. When Edwards came up and when he beat Kamaru, nobody gave him that chance.
Right.
In fact, he was losing for 4 minutes for 4 rounds in
Right.
4 minutes and change.
Yeah, wild.
But now he's on a tear, and Edwards looks fantastic. Do you see his brother? Does his brother have that in him?
He's good, man, but I don't see him beating Johnny Eblen. He can beat a lot of good guys, but I just don't think that's one of them.
Yeah. What's he coming in ranked right now?
Stylistically, it's a tough matchup.
Do you have that ranking?
I can pull it back up.
Oh, actually, I might have it here. Johnny Eblen. Oh, he's ranked number 1.
Oh, Eblen's a champ. I thought you were asking.
No, Fabian.
Oh, Fabian's ranked number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's ranked right behind. He's actually ranked above Mousasi, Tokov, Aaron Jeffrey.
Cool.
So awesome.
All right.
Do you want to take a second and talk about the fight with Luke?
Yeah, we can do that for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about the fight.
Man, what a roller coaster that night was. I could go over like a million scenarios because the last round happened so many times in my head.
Yeah.
Slow. That when. So we obviously lost the first 2 rounds. Second round was close, but Luke was getting his calf eaten up.
Yep.
We had fought a southpaw before him, and that was the first time the calf kick was really available to anybody. And Lucas uses it a lot as well, but he was able to take down I forget the guy's name, Josh San Diego, easily, so it never came into play. We knew that Weber would try to kick at it and not kick too high, not much to the body, just because worried about takedowns and whatnot. And so going into the third round, Luke's leg had got kicked, 20 times, and I'm telling him, you got to get out there, you got to get on his neck one way or the other, and finish the fight. You got to finish this round, or you're gonna lose the decision. Okay, I got it. He knew, as the round is going on, we're 2.5 minutes in, 3 minutes in, and now I'm having the conversation with Lucas after the fight. Like, how is this conversation going to go? I'm already playing that out, right? Like, and I'm watching at the same time and shouting out instructions. And where I'm sitting, the pole is right here.
Okay.
And they rotate this way, and for a split second, they're behind the pole.
Yeah.
And Weber falls.
Yeah.
I missed the knee, but for the last 13 minutes, I've been not convinced, but like, I don't know, learning in my head that Lucas is the one that should be falling, right? Because he's losing.
Okay.
So as he's falling, I'm like, who is that? Who is that? And as he's landing, and now I'm thinking, did he slip?
Right,
How did he fall? And then I see Lucas flying through the air with this monster hammer fist and smash him. I'm like, oh! And I jumped, and there you can obviously see the video that Bellator posted of all of us.
I think
in the
you
corner.
did like a box jump onto the.
Lipped onto it, and then Austin just stands there with the greatest celebration of all time. He goes, oh!
It was great.
It was so cool.
It was great.
And then I watched the knee happen again, and I'm like, oh, my God. And I looked at Austin. I was like, he refused to lose.
Yeah.
Like, he refused to lose. He was trying to win with 90 seconds left in the fight. His leg got eaten up early on, and it was weird because I'm going to give you two crazy, crazy scenarios that night. Right before we walked out, I said, hey, don't let him start to get ahead on the calf kicks thinking that they don't hurt because they're going to add up. So don't even let him. Yeah. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
The other crazy thing is, no bullshit, 30 minutes before the fight, I bump into Jason Herzog, and Jason goes, hey, he goes, what's up? And I said, not much. He goes, hey, Lucas is going to win by knockout tonight. And I go, what? He goes, Lucas is going to knock him out tonight. And I go, okay.
Do you know my son?
Yeah, I was like, okay. Yeah, he knows him, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I walked away, and I go over to Luke. I said, Jason Herzog just goes, Luke's going to knock him out tonight. I said, don't get any crazy ideas,
right.
Because we wanted to sub him so bad. I said, but yeah, that's crazy, huh? And he goes, yeah, weird. Bro, as soon as my wits came about and I calmed down for a second, I turned around while I was in the cage, and I'm like, where's Jason Herzog? Where is Jason Herzog? And he comes walking up to me later in the back, and he's like,
I told you.
He goes, with 2 minutes left, I was sitting there trying to figure out, and Lucas is down 2 rounds, 2.5 rounds.
For sure.
He goes, I was trying to figure out if he was going to do it with his hands or his feet. He goes, I wasn't thinking, oh, there's only 2 minutes left, it's not going to happen. He goes, I was trying to figure out how he was going to do it. That's how sure he was. And I was like, what a trip.
That's amazing.
Like, I'm coming to find you for the next fight.
And he didn't do it with either.
No, it's me.
With the knee.
Yeah, I mean, he said leg. It
Right.
was part of his leg, but yeah, what a wild night, man. And then, those calf kicks, that's why we use them here a lot at the gym. And Luke, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, he was 2 weeks not training. Third week was training a little bit. Now he's training, full time, and it's back to normal. But it was deep. Yeah.
We watched it live. My wife and I were watching it live, and all of a sudden, Weber, we kind of had the same reaction you did. We were looking, all of a sudden, there was a guy on the ground, and my wife was like, "What just happened?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then I saw the same thing that almost Superman.
It was such
to the hammer fist.
So he hurt Delmer. I forget who else. Two people in here with it, off the exact same thing. Then backstage, he did it to me. That whole week, actually, I got kneed in the head multiple times off the exact same thing. And then that night, first round, he did the exact same thing. As Weber breaks off, he lowers his head and backs out, and Luke threw it harder in the first round and hit him in the chest. And I was like, oh, that was a good one. In the third round, the exact same thing happened, but I swear his knee went like this. Like it popped up like that, but as his head was coming down, just caught him right under the chin like that and folded him. And I was like, oh my God.
It was incredible.
And I still, I look back and I was like, how did he have the wherewithal to pull that off with a minute and a half left of the fight? That he had never lost a round, right? We're going through we're going through 11 fights now as a pro and amateur, and he hadn't lost anything at all, and he's down 2.5 rounds.
My stomach was in knots.
And is still looking for the way to finish the fight. And a takedown and sub isn't going to happen in a minute and a half left. We hadn't taken him down yet. Most likely it's not going to happen now. And they had a brilliant game plan. I talked to their coaches afterwards, a brilliant game plan on stopping what Lucas was typically going to takedown-wise before that. Changed it up now, but it was, they had a brilliant game plan. Weber is a phenomenal human being, man. It was...
What did he do after the fight?
Yeah, and we came into the hotel, and I was walking. We were a little bit loud as we got to the door, and as the door opened, he was right there, and I went like that, and then I walked in and went to talk to him. I said, you make it very hard to celebrate because you're so nice, bro. and he's such a cool dude, man. And I just hugged him. I was like, you're phenomenal. You're a great fighter, and you're going to obviously do a lot. But he kept telling Lucas, you're going to be the champion. You're going to be the champion of the world. You're going to be the champion. I was like, thank you. But yeah, wild.
Awesome story.
What a wild night.
Awesome story. It was great for Luke. Great to see you do that. Love the whole next gen corner just exploding when that happened. It was
so
fantastic.
Cool.
It was awesome.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, we'll see you guys next week at the recap of Bellator 299 in Dublin, Ireland.
It is all over, just like that.